What's going on, YouTube tribe? Welcome to Little Bit Mac Gaming. Bringing you, and YouTube World. Well, not just the tribe, but YouTube World too. Got a review for you for Friday Night Smackdown. So, first thing I need you to do as the tribal chief, I need you to acknowledge me. Listen and acknowledge me by hitting that like, subscribe, share. Also hit that notification button so you always get notified when I do a review. The tribal chief wants you to acknowledge him on that. Look at me in my eyes, YouTube world. Acknowledge me. And hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button right here or down underneath the video to subscribe. Subscribe to the almighty tribal chief of YouTube. I'm just playing. Yeah, subscribe to the channel. What are you waiting for? I'm the highest new gaming channel on YouTube, so subscribe to the channel. Those who are not subscribed, do all those great things, and trust me, you won't regret it. Those who are subscribed and to the new subscribers, love you, appreciate you giving me this opportunity to entertain you with my lame but yet cool brand of comedy. But yeah, just I need y'all to do me one thing. Just continue to like, watch, and share. Just and leave comments. You know, because if we could get into a discussion about this, if you want if you want me to break it down even further in the comments, or you want to just have a little chat about it or debate about it, whatever, let me know in the comments down below. The last goal was 350. We smashed that goal because right now currently I think we at 411. So the new goal is 450. So if I continue to get subscribers and supporters, hey, let's achieve that goal too. So with that being said, let's get into it. Let's see. First on the docket was, I think it was a Daniel Bryan. Let me get my notes here. Yep. So the first on the docket was not Edge, but Daniel Bryan comes out, after the whole Fastlane fiasco. He comes out basically and cuts a promo about demanding a Universal Championship match. That actual night, I should say, he wanted it that same day, because he made everybody saw. And yes, Daniel Bryan was right. Everybody saw Reigns did tap out. Last week he said, "I'd rather die than tap out to someone like you," and he actually tapped out. And so technically Daniel Bryan should be the Universal Champion, but things went A-Raw, and no referee. Edge went crazy and hit him with a chair. So Daniel Bryan's gripe is that he should be Universal Champion because he basically won, in a sense. So that this is what he wanted. He said a chair in the middle of the ring, sat down and said he's not leaving the ring until he gets a Universal Championship match that night. Adam Pearce comes out and tells Daniel Bryan he can't get him a Universal Championship match tonight, and that the next time the Universal Championship will be defended will be at WrestleMania, and it will be Roman Reigns versus Edge. So now here's the deal. Here's the deal. So Dan Bryan was like, okay, so how about this? How about at WrestleMania you have Roman Reigns versus Edge, and then the winner immediately faces me right after the match for the Universal Championship. Adam was like, no, we're not doing that. Okay. So he said, so it's fair for me to wrestle 40-something minutes in an Elimination Chamber match, but they can't. But Edge and Roman can't wrestle after can't wrestle after the match. Was that too hard for them? He said, okay, fine. I got another proposition. WrestleMania is a 2-night event. They say night 1 is Edge versus Edge versus Roman Reigns. The winner of that match on night 2 faces him for the Universal Championship match. He said that seems fair. He said that seems fair, right? Then Adam Pearce like he was considering, but then Edge comes out, smacks Adam Pearce microphone out of his hand, basically confronts Daniel Bryan saying, "What is he doing?" Like he said Edge getting mad saying, you paint this you're painting this like you're some type of hero, some white knight, but he said, but the way you're going about it is the wrong way. That's not, you're not being no hero, not no white knight. He said I went into the Royal Rumble. I was first and I outlasted 24 other men, including Daniel Bryan himself, to win the Royal Rumble and have had the right to challenge Roman Reigns. Though it doesn't say you get a right to challenge Roman Reigns for a 1-on-1 or any champion for Roman Reigns or Drew McIntyre at the time for 1-on-1. It just means you get to choose what champion you go. That match can still be changed to a triple threat, fatal 4-way, anything. It just means you just guarantee that you are one of the participants in that match. So they kind of spoiled what the decision was going to be, because it wasn't. I don't think Edge was for, I'll get to that point. Anyway, Edge was still berating Daniel Bryan, saying that you lost twice to Roman, and he said I deserve that. I deserve my 1-on-1 opportunity against Roman Reigns. And then he said you in a WrestleMania match, you don't deserve. He said you don't deserve it, you son of a. Don't want to get demonetized. So, but I was going with, you son of a. Ooh. And then Daniel Bryan had enough, so he beat up Edge, but Edge would get the upper hand with a spear, and then he would hit him over the back with a chair. And this would lead to multiple segments throughout the night where all 3 participants would confront Adam Pearce about his decision. But we'll get to that one in a minute. The first match of the night was Cisg Nakamura versus Seth Rollins, which felt unnecessary to have a rematch because Seth Rollins did win. I don't think it was really that necessary. I mean, it was a cool match. Don't get me wrong. It was a great match. But it was just, I felt like it was unnecessary. But yeah, it was, it was a great match. But Shinsuke would end up getting, not Shinsuke, but Seth Rollins would end up getting the win once again. And but this time when he went on like a after the match assault on Shinsuke Nakamura, and Cesaro would come out on like I thought he would do at Fastlane. Cesaro came out this time and helped Shinsuke by beating up on Seth Rollins, trying to get his revenge, but Seth Rollins would end up escaping and going to the back. Seth Rollins would cut a promo about I think Seth Rollins cut a promo about how did you see what happened, that Cesaro tried to swing. I think they did a recap too before the Shinsuke. I meant to say this too, but before the Shinsuke Nakamura and Seth Rollins match, they did a recap of how many times he was swung. But then they went back to the backstage and he cut a promo about how this was after the match. He cut a promo about how he was basically almost swung, and that he was almost beaten up by Cesaro. So he offered a challenge that basically said at WrestleMania, I challenged and he challenged Cesaro to a match to finally end their beef and teach Cesaro respect. Cesaro will come and continue his beating on Seth Rollins and end up swinging Seth Rollins in the back and then tell him challenge accepted. I think it was a match. I think the promo, like when they came back from break, the promo interrupted a match that was in progress. I'm not sure. Let me check my notes because I had it written down. Seth Rollins. I got Seth Rollins down here. He beat up Cisg Nakamura. Hit him with the stomp. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was I think the next match was the Big E and the Street Profits versus Apollo Crews and Otis and Chad Gable. Gable. And I think the thing would, like in between some of the entrances, that's where we got the Seth Rollins promo I was trying to look at. But yeah, then we got the Street Profits. We got the Big E and the Street Profits versus Apollo Crews, Chad, and Otis. And it was a good match. I honestly, I was honestly entertained by it, but it was a little awkward, I guess, to have Big E get pinned by Apollo. But I guess it's to build up the feud. So I'm not too. It's not like something. It's not going to hinder the score. It was just awkward to have him lose, but then get pinned Big E. But maybe I honestly I like the little push they giving both Big E and Apollo Crews. But yeah, one spot I did like was the Northern Light suplex pin. I think it's called. I know it's called the Northern Lights. The Northern Lights I think that's what it's called. The Northern Lights suplex pin that Chad hit on which is Montez Forge. When he coming over the top rope, that was actually a cool sequence. It looked like Montez Forge was going for whatever he was going for, but it was turned into a Northern Lights suplex pin. So I think I want to say the promo that was next. I think it was a promo with Sami Zayn first before the promo with Roman Reigns. But either way, it doesn't matter. I'm not even about to look at my notes for it. But it was basically a promo. One promo was basically had Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens confronting Sami Zayn about last week, but it was like build up to the oh yeah, this was going to be Sami versus Kevin. I mean, Sami wanted Kevin to come out, and I said Sami wanted Kevin. Kevin wanted Sami to come out and do I guess apologize. That's what the announcers was making it seem like. Corey, Michael Cole, making sure this was just supposed to be him coming to apologize about kicking Kevin in the head. But Kevin kept trying to tell him that once he gave the apology and all that type of stuff, Kevin tried to tell him that he didn't want to apologize. That's not what he was out here for. He actually wanted to ask for credit, but Sami kept interrupting him. Every time he kept trying to get out what he really wanted, Sami kept interrupting him. And Sami even revealed, I guess, that next week is supposed to be his little red carpet premiere for his documentary, and that Logan Paul, our Ohio native, my very own Ohio native, Cleveland, Ohio native to be exact, and one of the people I inspired to, in fame and popularity to get to one day with this YouTube channel. Is it possible? Yes, but I'm not gonna. It's so many things that so many people do the same thing that I do. So it's really just gonna take people just liking me to do it. But he is one of the people I aspire to be. But that's a whole different subject. He said Logan Paul was gonna be there, and for his season premiere, being the heel, kept cutting off Kevin until Kevin finally took control. Was like, hey, that is not what I wanted. What I wanted this whole time, if you would have let me talk, was that I want a match with you at WrestleMania. And the only reason why I haven't beaten the crap out of you where you stand is because I don't need your answer. So he kept he pressed up on him, he didn't want to hear nothing but a yes or no. And after a while, though, reluctantly thinking about it and being cornered, he said, Sammy's like, fine, yes. Is that what you happy now? That's what you want? You got what you want? You happy? And Kevin was like, you know what, that's what I wanted. That's the answer I wanted to hear. Now that I do got your answer, I'm going to beat the crap out of you. And he started beating up Sami Zayn, and he sent Sami Zayn packing. And another match for WrestleMania has now been added to the card. I think we had Cesaro and Shinsuke. Cesaro and Seth. Now we got Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. They did announce that as a WrestleMania, it will be Apollo Crews versus Big E for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. I just wanted to put that out there. Also, there's been rumors that Charlotte might get moved to SmackDown, but I really hope not, because she would add talent to the women roster, the SmackDown women roster. But I think she still needs to settle things with Rhea Ripley first before she moves to SmackDown at least. But moving on, we got Roman Reigns and Edge. The promo was Roman Reigns and Edge together. This is not the promo where Edge came in to confront Roman, but this was in this promo both, and I think both in the same time. Not at the same time, but Adam Pearce, Roman earlier in the night, I forgot to mention this part too. Roman had Paul and Jay go find Adam Pearce after he never really officially made the decision, thanks to Ed smacking the microphone in his hand. It was a promo. That was a promo in which he just basically was like, you know what, Paul, handle this, and he said, Jay, go with him. Use forces if you have to. He said, and Jay was like, are you sure? And he was like, yeah, what are they going to do? Fire us? So then that resulted into this promo I'm talking about right now, where they finally got Adam Pearce to come into the office, and Roman, and Paul Heyman was talking at first, was saying, Adam Pearce who was pressured into making an unfair and wrong decision, which you didn't make, so we thank you. And Roman was like, no, we don't thank you. You should be thanking us. He said, let me tell you how this is going to go. He said, you're only going to get me for one night and one night only at WrestleMania. The tribal chief demands that you acknowledge him. You would never get me for 2 nights. And I'm not facing Daniel Bryan. I beat Daniel Bryan. Basically all that type of good stuff. And Adam Pearce said he haven't made a decision yet, but he will. But him along with Edge and Adam Pearce, along with Edge and Roman. I keep about to saying the people that's involved in this promo. I meant to say him. He said him along with Edge and Daniel Bryan would get his answer by the end of the night. Edge would then confront Adam Pearce in the hallway, who would tell him like it's pretty much clear cut and dry. I won at Royal Rumble. It's supposed to be a 1-1 between Roman Reigns once I chose Roman Reigns. So why haven't what's to think about is to clear. You need to make the right decision or else. So now he's being threatened by 2 different people, by both Roman and Edge, that if he don't make the decision they want him to make, they pretty much going to beat the hell out of him. We will get Bianca Bel Air versus Natalia, which just basically was built around the hype between the little feud between her and Sasha Banks came out during the match to distract her, and it was a good back and forth. Natalia even put in some good effort. It almost looked like at times Natalia could beat Bianca Belair, but Bianca would hit the kiss of death. I think they call it the KOD for short, or the kiss of death. And she would beat Natalia, and she would actually get her payback. She would actually give Sasha her receipt for that smack she gave her at Fastlane by smacking the shit. Smacking the holy crap out of Sasha Banks. But Banks would come back and return that receipt with another receipt by giving her a bank statement to stand tall over the ring. Then we would get a promo with Ed, the promo we would get with Edge confronting Roman about if he really had some pull. If he, Jay was like, "Hey man, you must have came into, you must don't know where you is. You must be walking the wrong neighborhood." Because he was like, "Look, if I really wanted to do something, you wouldn't see it coming." But he said, "I ain't here to fight. I'm here to talk." So Roman said, "You know what? I almost respect you coming in here, but you don't hurry up and say your piece. I'm gonna have to let the pit bull off his leash." So, Edge just basically said, if you got the pull, you say you do, around here, make sure that this stays just me and you at WrestleMania, because if it doesn't, then I don't have to pin. You don't have to be pinned to. You don't have to be pinned to lose your title. I could pin Daniel Bryan and still beat you and take your title. And I don't think you want that. And that's the part where I meant, like, I think they spoiled it, because it's pretty much we knew the decision they was going to make. Even if you wasn't aware or didn't hear the rumors, it's pretty much spoiled, I think, in my opinion, by accident, that the decision was going to be, a triple threat match. And then we got a quick match between Mysterio and Dolph Ziggler versus Mysterio and Dolph Ziggler with, his son at ringside and Robert Roode at ringside. And, it was a good match. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. It was a good match, but Mysterio ended up getting the pin on Dolph Ziggler, and which looked like it's going to set up a future title match between Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler against Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. So that led, actually, on their way out, Adam Pearce would come out to deliver his decision. Both Roman, Daniel Bryan, and Edge would come out. It was a promo with Daniel Bryan too. I forgot about that. He just told Adam Pearce to make the right decision, the real right decision. But yeah, Adam Pearce came out, then followed by Roman, Edge, and Daniel Bryan, and he said everybody's points were right. He said Edge's point was right, Roman's points was right, and even Daniel Bryan's points was right. So he said at WrestleMania it would be Roman was right. He said you were right and you were right, Edge. So it will be Edge versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And Roman will only wrestle for one night, and he said, but Daniel Bryan will be added to the match because it will be a triple threat match at WrestleMania for the Universal Championship, which is kind of like the repeat of how they did with Batista and Randy Orton. But I'm hoping that Edge actually wins instead of Daniel Bryan winning. But yeah, then it breaks out to a brawl with Edge trying to when Edge standing tall after hitting the spear on both Daniel Bryan and Roman, and they almost tried to use the concertos on both of them, but he would end up getting, thanks to the referees and backstage officials, both Daniel Bryan and Roman would end up escaping, and Jey Uso too would end up escaping, and Edge would stand tall in the ring. He even went crazy enough to start beating up the backstage officials. But that's it. That's all I got. That was the show, and if I had to give this show anything, just because it's just it's a build up, because WrestleMania, I didn't realize WrestleMania was in 2 weeks. I didn't realize we was getting that close to my birthday, because my birthday is April 10th. One night, I think that's night 1. But I'll have to, if I give this anything, I give it 8 big ups, just because it wasn't a stellar show. 8 big ups, because it wasn't a stellar show, but it was just a show that basically built up WrestleMania. But that's all. That's my thoughts. If you could do me a favor and hit this button right here for more of my great, amazing wrestling review content, Tribal Chief demands that you hit this button right here and acknowledge him by subscribing to the channel, or hit any one of these great videos for more of my amazing content. Tribal Chief out. I am done. See you in the next videos. I think I might actually have a reaction for Suicide Squad. But peace out.